God, man, what have you done?
Apparently, this movie has become my favourite comfort watch, and I have more things to say about it. So let's take a look at these 3 deep dives into red, white, and royal blue. Number 1. Clothes make the man. The visual storytelling of a character's wardrobe is so often overlooked, but gives us such an insight into how they are feeling, and this movie does it beautifully. Henry has a lot of looks throughout the show, like the wedding suit, the polo getup, his tux, and his pajamas, which are all great. But I want to focus on what I'm calling his everyday blues, almost fun whites, borrowed with love, and grey choices. His everyday blues are just that. They are the suits that he wears whenever someone might see him in public. They are his armour against the world and nearly always the same. The only time he changes this up is for the New Year's Eve party, where he dons the
orange. Orange? Must be colourblind. This is obviously copper.
Tie. This is the first real crack in his armour that Alex has helped put there. The almost fun whites are Henry's white pants and blue shirt look. This one has 2 meanings depending on what jacket he wears with it. We see that when he's messaging Alex about Byron's poetry and he turns up at the lake house, he has no jacket or a white jacket. And in these moments, he is animated and happy. He is being open and honest with Alex in these moments. But white is hard to maintain, and inevitably, the world kicks mud up on him. This mud is in the form of a blue jacket, a return of the armour around his heart. He has to shut down everything he is feeling for Alex. He leaves the love of his life because of the public prince he has to be. He needs his armour to cope, but he cannot give up the feeling completely, which is why he still wears the white pants. Borrowed with love are all the clothes he borrows from Alex at the lake house. These clothes allow him, for the first time, to let loose and forget about being a prince. He can just be a guy out in jeans drinking with his friends and having fun. He is relaxed and happy, and for a moment he can see a future with Alex that is amazing and exactly what he wants. But it's borrowed, a fantasy, a dream that cannot come true because he'll always be a prince. The pressure of being a royal comes crashing down on him. It scares Henry so much that he gives up on the whole dream and runs, putting his blue armour back on. Grey choices. Henry wears grey when he's making a choice that's right for him. We first see the grey when he turns up at the DCC. He is so proud that he's made the choice to go to Alex and took the steps to arrange it.
Let me help you plan it.
He wears the grey hoodie when it comes to making the choice to be with Alex, regardless of the challenges that they face. And he wears a grey suit with the yellow rose tie.
I read it was a thing in Texas. I thought it might bring you some luck.
To support and stand next to Alex on election night, making the choice for his future. So much said visually, even if we don't pay attention to it, creates so much more depth to the movie. Number 2. To hold or not to hold hands. The way Alex and Henry's relationship progresses over the course of the movie can be seen by how they hold hands. They start off as enemies, at least from Alex's point of view. Poor Henry can't even look at Alex in this moment in case he gives himself away. Seriously, from the moment Henry drives up, he never looks directly at Alex. This handshake is a battle between them, both trying to control it, not wanting to give the other an inch. Becoming friends. By the end of the hospital visit, they are starting to become friends, and the handshake is accepted from both sides, with Henry looking a little shy when he actually looks at Alex. Making a real connection. Alex reaches for Henry's hand, trying to connect with him in the moment, as he tentatively asks for what he wants.
I wouldn't mind doing this again.
Henry wants it too, and connects for a moment before pulling away. Taking it to the next level. Paris is a roller coaster ride for sure, with Alex wanting nothing more than to hold Henry's hand to comfort him after Henry reveals the pressures he's under. Henry responds with,
Not here.
He follows through on the thought as they do connect and hold hands while they're alone. Things getting real. Alex is so content at the lake house, playing with Henry's hand, that he cannot imagine Henry not feeling the same. He misses Henry pulling away, right in front of his eyes. Making the choice to commit. Henry hands over his ring and closes Alex's hand around it. It's a promise that they will figure it out no matter what. They are in this together, regardless of the miles that might be between them. The ultimate support. Henry reaches for Alex, so he doesn't feel alone in this, quite frankly, terrifying moment. The king has the power to pull them apart permanently, and even in the face of that, Henry is comforting Alex. He is finally prepared to take on his whole family, to follow his heart and do what's right for him. Real love, the moment they declare themselves fully to each other and step out into the light. They can finally...
We can walk through Austin holding hands, and it won't even matter if anyone sees us.
Forever. Standing on the stage, and Alex gets to reach for Henry, and Henry can finally accept it. Together forever, hand in hand. Number 3. Why did they leave that out? This movie is an amazing interpretation of its book counterpart. The characters and the tone of the movie are so on point that you want to spend more time with them. And when Amazon Prime released the deleted scenes, I was all over it. These deleted scenes give a different perspective on a few things, but I can kind of see why they left them out. Firstly, we have the kitchen scene. Given what we know from the books, we have to assume that this was meant to happen between Alex and Henry's tug-of-war handshake and the talk show questions. In the books, Alex is staying overnight at Kensington Palace when Henry comes in looking to raid the freezer for ice creams, as he cannot sleep. It's the first look for Alex that Henry is a real person and not just some boring cardboard cutout. The deleted scene gives us a great look into the antagonizing nature that currently exists between the two boys. We see both Alex and Henry get in some good digs.
I'm trying. He's just so insufferable.
Did you just overhear my conversation?
Yes, he said insufferably.
At Prince Henry Yuck.
Prince Henry UK.
Hashtag I'm taller.
We also see the first inkling into what Henry might be feeling for Alex. It's an amazing back and forth between them, but this connection they are already forming is why it got cut. With the exception of...
Alex has very strong opinions, and he shares them loudly.
There is no real need to have this scene in the movie, and it actually undermines the talk show fun. The best part about the talk show back and forth is that they really do feel like strangers, trying to get along and make stuff up as they go.
Yes, we hit it off instantly.
Yeah.
It's like we've known each other all our lives, right?
Yep.
They don't talk or act like people that know each other well, and they are definitely not comfortable with the banter that friends should have. This is a great scene, and paired with the handshake, you really feel like they could never get along. However, if you throw the deleted scene in there, that awkwardness is broken up. We see that they can interact with each other and find a common ground. So when they cannot do it again the next day, it feels wrong, and like the characters took a big step back in their development. As fan service to the book lovers out there, I am so glad that we got to see this scene, but for the movie, I'm glad they cut it. The second deleted scene is Alex and Henry talking by the campfire. This scene happens at some point at the lake house, but before their conversation on the pier. The one in-story reason that I don't like that they cut this scene is that it makes Alex's line about protecting your heart and
Nothing will ever happen to you.
make much less sense, but really, that scene worked without it, and the only other reason to keep it in would be to delay the inevitable of Henry running from Alex. The story Henry tells is one of his emails in the book, and I feel that it's better off as an email. The use of telling a story to answer Alex's very serious question feels a little off. I feel like Henry doesn't answer Alex's question, and Alex just sort of lies down and lets it go. It feels like the scene doesn't really go anywhere, and it almost feels a little out of place in the movie that they're trying to create. It's a beautiful and romantic scene, and I'm glad it exists in the world for us to watch. And there we have it, 3 deep dives into red, white, and royal blue. If you would like to see more red, white, and royal blue content, please click on the video on the screen. Otherwise, let's see what other secrets we can uncover next time on Nerdy Investigations.
His grandfather, the king, sent the suit a Prince of Armor